Just like this one. On the other side, though, they pick up Moira. Definitely saw Nier play that hero to pretty damn good effect.
I know that Fusen has been playing forced heroes lately. Like, he's been practicing the Parasite, the Tempest, even the Ophelia, and it's been working out very, very well. But I've never seen the War Beast. I wonder if that's going to hand or come down to Fusen playing that one, or if it's going to be more of a suicide played by Maki. But I have never seen Maki play a War Beast in my entire life. I can say that for sure. So probably going to be a forced War Beast. And well, if you got a War Beast in the forest, then you're not going to necessarily get too much assist gold from getting kills all around the map. Of course, just having one hero in the mid usually results in less kills than having a dual lane versus a dual lane, for example. So I certainly don't necessarily feel like the War Beast forest right now is correct option. But hey, we're going to see what BMG brings out.
I mean, Quincy's saying right there that Baltazar actually played it in the DreamHack warm-ups.
So they want to play it in the safe lane.
That would certainly be interesting, but then where would they land the Clanks that they just picked up?
Offensive tri-lane, I don't know. That doesn't make too sense to Baltazar must be the one playing it, but hopefully someone else from BMG can tackle the War Beast.
I mean, picking that War Beast in the first two, very interesting, knowing that they're not a team that is normally going to be playing that War Beast.
I feel like this draft worries me big time. If I'm BMG, I feel like it's so greedy, so greedy. War Beast, Clanks, Behemoth, 3 heroes that are so dependent on early farm. Behemoth obviously can't do anything without his levels, and then he's going to need a pull key to land his Shockwave. Clanks needs a Thunderclaw and a few different items before he can actually take part in team fights successfully or carry his team. Same goes with War Beast. I feel like War Beast and Clanks are more or less going to be competing with the, competing for that farm on their side. So Recent Gaming, if they were to go for an offensive lineup or if they just want to bring the pressure on early on, I feel like they're in a good position to do so.
Well, on the other side, they've got the Moira and the Swiftblade, 2 heroes that do excel at the early roaming and ganking. So why are they going to pick something else that actually accentuates those particular elements? We'll have to see. 30 seconds left on their reserve time. I mean, we saw yesterday the Moira and Prisoner combination that was run to perfection by Sync. Maybe we'll see something like that, but it's going to be a fade. So map control, ganking ability, and punishing the greed of this BMG draft. I like this one from Reason. Yeah, you mentioned the Moira plus the Prisoner combination, an excellent one it is, but Fade plus Moira, that also goes very, very well. Of course, going Invis with Fade as soon as you get level 6, and then you have the Moira to follow it up. Fade stun, I think that's one of the longest stuns in the game. It's 2.5 seconds in level 4. That's quite amazing for an AoE stun, so him and Moira definitely makes a good combo, and I really fear for BMG right now. The secondary bans, it's going to be interesting to see what they take out. Recent Gaming takes out Andromeda, while BMG takes out Puppet Master and Tremble. Now, with these bans, the super late game heroes being eliminated by BMG, Puppet Master, Tremble, and Sandwraith, meaning it seems like BMG is actually ready to take this one to the late game. Looks like it, and I'm surprised that they're actually willing to do so, because usually Recent Gaming, you know, that they excel at the late game, just that counter pushing. They usually have a very, very good communication, and yeah, this is rough. This is going to be a close one, or this is going to be probably a game that determines like during the laning phase, I feel. Andromeda and Engineer eliminated by Imba Boy, meaning maybe they're even looking to set up a tri-lane themselves, trying to take out those really strong tri-lane heroes and making sure that BMG cannot contest it. Is another Devourer going to be picked up? Oh my God, BMG, they are ballsy with this draft. They are super ballsy. I don't know about this one. Where is he going to be around? He's going to be in the mid. He's going to be 1 versus 1, but look at that. Recent Gaming picks up the Dr. Repulsor. If they were to pick him in the mid, like Devourer, he cannot even last hit. It would be if BMG or Boxy pulls off some crazy hooks on Dr. Repulsor into his own tower, but I don't know. The last ban on Prisoner 945, perhaps giving that Dr. Repulsor pick away a little bit, saying, there's a big counter. Not letting you guys have that one. And, of course, Dr. Repulsor going to lend himself toward the roaming quite a bit, setting up those ganks, punishing over rotations from the guys at BMG. But they've got a solid minute to choose their last hero. We'll see if they want to go ahead and take that entire time. No, they're going to do it very quickly, and it will be a torture. Likely it was a primary support.
Seems like BMG knows what they want, but once again, Torture, I do not agree, not versus the Hellborn lineup. I just don't feel like Torture is the kind of support that's going to help too much when the early aggression hits. It's good with the Impalement early on to tackle other supports, and there's Nymphora as well. I was just about to say, is this Nymphora Dr. Repulsor game with Moira and Fade in the mid and a Swiftblade Suicide? It's going to be so much aggression early on, and like, where is Torture going to go from here? Like, usually when you play the Devourer, it's actually going to be played by Mackie instead of Boxy. Warbeast is going to be played by Boxy. What's going on?
I don't even know what to say about this BMG draft. I mean, we saw that they clearly had practiced some things and planned some things in the last game. They executed the initial strategy very well. We're not able to follow up with it too effectively, though. We'll have to see if they're able to follow this strategy up with clearly some very odd things. Root of Z going into the off lane. It's going to be Boxy taking this one into the jungle, while Maka is heading into the...
It's not the same strategy, at least. It is not, since he doesn't have a Logger's Hatchet, so he's not going to be stacking small camp and all that. But I would assume that Maka is going to be playing in the mid or something like that.
Maka has to be playing in the mid. Clank's going to be heading into the safe lane. And so it's going to be a defensive tri-lane, as Boxy is likely going to be heading into the safe jungle, already using the Hellhounds to go ahead and get some scouting information out. And extremely solid play right there. Picture perfect by Behemoth. That's Root of Z, able to get his Ward of Sight down to get that block down. Not going to be able to get any vision of these, but the Hellhound already did spot them, making their way on over. And now a nice Ward of Sight being placed here by Reason Gaming's Imba Boy. Going to be able to protect his own safe lane. That's where Dr. Repulsor is going to be farming up with the assistance of Nymphora.
Yep. Where is Torture going to be laning, though? Is he going to be babysitting with Clanks, or is he going to be in the middle with the Devourer? I almost feel like he has to be in the middle with the Devourer, because he's going to be up versus a Fail plus a Moira combination. Either that or the Fail plus Nymphora combination, but I would probably prefer having the Moira in the mid and Nymphora in the top with the Dr. Repulsor. Yeah, seems like that is going to be the case. But like Torture, his stun is quite unreliable. It's not necessarily like the largest range either, so it's not necessarily helping with setting that Devourer hook off or hook up. So I would have personally preferred something else, like, I don't know, even a Glacius or an Luna, just something with that long range stun, like Impolize, that locks the target down for some time and just hits that hook into the tower.
Now, double lane pull right here in the top lane as Boxy went with the Hellhounds, dragged the creeps back into the base, and then you're going to have Behemoth, who's going to block the creeps coming out of the base.
What's Behemoth doing, by the way?
Why is he completely didn't go for the first wave, but
why was that?
I am not entirely sure.
He's missing a lot of experience simply because of that.
He's actually going to go for the second block right here, but he decided not to do it on the first wave.
Was it because Boxy told him that he was going to do it for him? But seeing as Boxy isn't necessarily... Yeah, exactly. He's not the typical Warbeast player. Maybe Boxy just screwed up the timing a little bit, and his dogs actually despawned.
Now, the lane position is still going to be pretty decent here for Imba Boy, to be honest. Boxy's just... or excuse me, Root of Z is not going to be able to get a whole lot up here. And already dewarded the pull, which means Nymphora is going to have a free and open pull. That's very bad for the BMG offlaner.
That it is. This is not looking good whatsoever. By looking at this lineup, I just feel like it screams Reason Gaming. I'm not quite sure how BMG are going to be able to pull it off if the early aggression hits at that 5, maybe 10 minutes mark when Moira starts running around. As soon as he gets level 2, you know, he can start rotating over to the mid. He can start to set up kills onto the Devourer together with the Fade.
Now, I did not catch the middle lane, but both of these camps are actually dead. Okay, it was Warbeast that killed them. Never mind. I was thinking that Devourer might have pulled the camps into the middle lane. I actually didn't check. I was thinking about it, but I was so distracted by the Behemoth stuff. I have to assume that Warbeast just killed those out himself.
Yeah, very, yeah, possibly.
Speaking of that middle lane, Nymphora making her way on over. Maka could be in a little bit of trouble as there is a hasted Moira from behind
Burning Shadows
the Z-Freak rune. So, not able to get the kill. Instead, going to be heading on into the jungle, where the Tasted Moira is going to go ahead and find Warbeast. There's the Shards of Harkin. Not going to be able to get the last hits, though.
Boxy already level 3, by the way, so he's doing a good job farming in the forest, at least.
Now, Fade versus Devo here in the middle lane. It's going to be a battle of, you know, the CS. Devo 13-0, Fade 17-2. So slight advantage so far. Swiftblade and Moira trying to make sure that they invade the jungle as much as possible and deny the experience here to the guys from BMG.
Yeah, there's just no way for Devourer to ever get a kill in the mid lane. Not only does he need to be careful for the Nymphora and the Moira roaming around, but also if he were to get a hook onto Fade, like what's going to happen? Fade is going to use Burning Shadows and then he's going to just walk away. So he's never going to be able to get a kill. Usually Devourer is the kind of hero that you want to pick up, maybe with a support that goes well with the Glaciers, for example, that can lock the target down, or you just want to have it versus heroes that have no escape, like a Chipper versus a Torturer, something like that in the mid lane. But versus a Fade that has a stun, it's just not going to be successful.
Top lane could be some trouble here for Root of Z. Nymphora stutter step on the stun right there, and Root of Z with the sidestep. Looks like he'll be just fine. Takes about 30% of his HP, but walks away relatively unscathed.
Well played by Root of Z with the sidestep, but I feel like Nymphora, if he would have been a little bit more patient, would have kept running, cancelling that animation, I feel like they could have potentially gotten that first blood.
Yeah, especially if Dr. Repulsor had been able to walk on in there and get the stun off himself. A little bit easier to land that one.
That it is. Here is Moira, by the way, he's level 2 now, he's looking for that gank opportunity. You can see Nymphora moving from the top lane, heading towards the mid as well. Or never mind, he's actually going to head towards the top lane. They're going to dive the Behemoth.
It looks like they will, and there's the stun coming out from Dr. Repulsor into the Nymphora stun, and down goes Behemoth, the final auto. Going to be enough, but Imbaboy could be in trouble. He hits 6 though, and levels up the ultimate, zips on out of there.
It was timed. It was timed by Imbaboy, of course.
Calculated.
No, but BMG, I mean, I just don't see the synergy in this draft at all. I don't see where they are rolling or where they're heading for. What's the win condition? Yeah, get Warbeast and Clanks really farm. Yeah, exactly, but it's just going to be so much trouble setting the, or like how are they going to deal with the aggression coming out from Fade, who is almost level 6.
Top lane,
getting 6
Root
as well.
of Z going to go down as well. They pick up a tower. They glyphed to try to defend the tower right there, and Root of Z was actually in a bad spot. Gets taken out. Already 1-0-1 now for Imbaboy's Dr. Repulsor. And
this is really terrible for BMG at this point. I mean, look at Nymphora. He's not only getting a lot of experience, he's already level 4, going towards that level 6 mark, but he's also 260 gold per minute. He has 40 more gold per minute than Boxy on the Warbeast in the forest.
Yeah, Boxy certainly not on a hero that is able to flash farm, at least right away. But Nymphora just having a stellar game so far.
That he has. Then we have seen this combination for recent gaming before. The Dr. Repulsor and the Nymphora usually actually being run in the mid, but seeing as in one of the latest patches, Dr. Repulsor's range were nerfed to 450, down from 500. The more, or like, you have more or less seen Dr. Repulsor being transitioned back to the safe lane once again.
Bottom lane, Clanks is not even able to farm right now. He's just sitting in the jungle because he is so scared. He does not have a lane ward up.
Like if Swift Slashes hits, I mean, Zane already got Ghost Marchers. They had a freaking Behemoth babysitting him. Or no, they have the Torture babysitting him. And I'm not entirely sure how Swiftblade has been able to get this much experience. Haven't been paying too much attention to this bot lane, but Zane somehow already with Ghost Marchers, almost 300 gold per minute. He's even ahead of the Clanks.
He is indeed. Middle lane, Maka going to be in trouble. The Ephemeral Forge into the Shards of Harkin. The Behemoth stun is there, but Fade going to be able to get a stun, misses the Devo, and now Fade going to be in some trouble himself. Matthias actually going to be falling back here, and Impalement will finish him off. This is what BMG needed.
Where's the Fissure? 1 second down.
And wrong side, a messed up Fissure there by the guys from Root of Z and the BMG
And here goes Swiftblade, is going to finish up the Root of Z instead.
Wow, the Swift Slash is picking it up in the background, and oh, wow.
That could have gone so much better for BMG. They actually had a chance to get back into the game for a bit, but then they get the miss stun on the Fissure, and instead Behemoth goes down. So unfortunate. And now we got a mana ring on top of the bottle on Dr. Repulsor. Nymphora still stuck on level 4, by the way, so haven't getting too much experience in the last minutes, but as soon as he hits level 6, then they're going to be able to time not only the Moira and the Fade combination, but the Nymphora and the Dr. Repulsor on top of that. It's going to be like madness. Or like from 0 to 100 all the time.
Now on the other side of things, Clanks has had the lane to farm himself as the Swiftblade did go out and rotate, put a little bit of pressure on the tower, and has been jungling in addition, so starting to recover just a little bit. And Make, I mean, with that kill right there onto his enemy Fade combatant, he's able to get the Steam Boots on up, hits level 7 as well. So some good things happening for Reason. They actually equalize on experience completely.
Yeah, that they are. That's a big step, of course, but it's when level 6 hits on N4, that stuff is going to be getting real scary here for BMG. I'm not sure Behemoth, by the way, he went for the Striders, but so far he hasn't any gold whatsoever. Saving up for that pole key is still 2,100 gold away.
Imboboy hitting the jungle right here. N4 had created a nice triple stack for him. He continues to be one of the highest farmers in the game. In fact, the highest farmer at 414 gold per minute. Definitely not somewhere where you want Imboboy to be at 8 minutes. He gets dangerous on this hero. That
he does. Ghost Mortars, by the way, is going to be the choice of phase for only here. Interesting. Usually you see Fade going for the Steam Boots, but Ghost Mortars, that's alright as well. Of course, you cannot use those Mortars or the extra movement speed while you're in your ultimate, because that would actually cancel your invis, but alright, he's gonna go for it, so he's at least going to be able to get out of the ganks fast if it were to fail. Oh, and look at the mid lane. There is the Nymphora hitting level 6, and straight off the bat, they're gonna go for Devour, but he's
coming in. Devo is going to fall. Looks like Fade with the big stun, though.
And look at the bot lane, by the way. Swiftblade is going to pick off the Behemoth as well. Reason Gaming, the offensive playstyle, is really hitting BMG right now. And this is exactly what I was worried about. I said it even in the drafting phase after the first 3 picks. Like, this is going to be so greedy. They have too many core heroes, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why did they go for these kind of odd pickups?
I'm not sure, but perhaps BMG feeling the pressure of the LAN, going for something slightly outside of their comfort zone. Last time they were on the comfort heroes, didn't quite pan out. This time they go for something very different, just saying we have to pick Clanks. And it has not worked out so far. Reason already in a phenomenal lead, just 10 minutes.
And look at Clanks, by the way, he's so low, and Mora is in the neighborhood. He's going to place a ward on the hill, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually spot Clanks. Otherwise, he could have probably killed him with one illusion out attack.
Wow, that's very unfortunate, but Clanks does clean up a healthy amount of the Ancients over there. Going to head on back to town and pick up something. I mean, he's got 1,400 gold right now. Does he start working on an Energizer, or does he just need to go straight for that Thunderclaw?
I feel he has to go for the Thunderclaw. There's not going to be enough time for him to go Energizer as well. He needs to skyrocket somehow. He just have to hope for Reason Gaming to somehow get greedy and give them a few pickups here and there.
Moira with an Invis Rune doing a little bit of scouting in the enemy jungle, letting her team know where everybody is, and now Torture is in some trouble. Swiftblade has the Swift Slashes, not quite up actually, but Shards of Harkon into the spin, going to be more than enough. Fade Invised up in the middle lane. Nymphora TP is available. Looks like they could go for Behemoth.
By the way, yeah, they're going to go for Behemoth in the mid, but it's top lane as well. Okay, never mind, they're going to port into the mid.
And there's the Nymph TP. Behe going to go ahead and step on up. Dr. Repulsor flies in, and the Nymph
Seems not actually going to miss, but it's not even going to matter.
It clipped on one side there, but I think that it wasn't even needed.
I love this draft. I love this draft from Reason Gaming. It's so creative and it's so well executed. Mora into Fade, into Nymphora, into Dr. Repulsor, and then you have the Swiftblade, who is like really scary in the start of the game as well. It just goes very well. And I even think that Hellborn team at a certain point like could have the late game simply because of that Nymphora factor. BMG is never going to be able to go alone in this game.
Looks like an Icon of the Goddess going to be the choice here for Imboboy. We'd been seeing the Thai teams going for Grimoire Power. We've seen even the Hellfire rushes recently, but looks like the team fight, the ganking-oriented item, going to be the choice here for Imboboy. And certainly when you do have as much map control as they've been getting with both the Nymphora, the Moira, and Fade, I mean, this could definitely be the choice. Those charges stack up real quick.
That is good. Nymphora, by the way, picked up not only the Steam Boots, but the Astro already. 12 minutes into the game, the Nymphora has an Astro plus Steam Boots. That's amazing. Well played by Tank
Oh,
Defense.
Devo with the big hook right there. Doesn't get the eat off. Instead, going to be stunned out himself. And
He's going to haste Rune, though. He's going to look to turn this one around.
yeah, the Burning Shadow is going to be going out one more time. The Zeal stun on to 2. Here comes Swift Blade. Swift Sloshes is available. Going to use the spin first. And Devo going to be in some trouble trying to walk on out of there.
From out of
but
the
the
side,
Converge
Moira.
going to be coming on in. Moira is there with the Ephemeral Forge. Dr. Repulsor going to be going on up. Is going to take out Devo first of all on the backside down here. It looks like Behemoth's Fissure was going to be enough to stop that push. But instead, they're going to be focusing their attention on the tower.
Damn, this is, I'm not quite sure what to do if I were BMG right now. Look at Behemoth, he's so far away from that Polky, he still hasn't gotten a single gold since laning phase, and that was like, what, 8 minutes ago when he picked up the
Fade
Striders.
isn't deep right now. I mean, this could be a bait. She's going to get caught out a little bit, but
he just
actually
doesn't care.
turns it around.
There's nothing that
turns
can
it around
hit him.
completely. Swift Slash is going to be able to take out Torture, but that was a big commitment. And now Dr. Repulsor out of mana completely. Here comes Behemoth. Not going to be able to get anything off as he's stunned and killed. Reason going to be falling back as 5, but
I
they
still
can
think
potentially
they can turn this one
they can
around.
turn it. 100%. Nymphora going to be hooked on in right here. She's the one that's going to be in some trouble. Going to be able to get the heal off right now. But the hook onto Devo, excuse me, the
Clank's going to be in
stun.
trouble again.
And now they're going to turn it around. Clanks very low on mana here. Swift Blade, no Swift Slash, is not able to finish him off. I feel like if he had not wasted the Swift Slashes onto Torture right there, that could have gone so much better in favor of Reason. But still, 14 minutes in, they're down over 10,000 gold.
And look at this, Dr. Repulsor is actually going to have the luxury to pick up a Regeneration Rune at the top rune, or at the top rune, just what he wanted. And now with the Nymphora Seal, once again, they're going to get back, straight back into the action. Where is Fade located during this? He's actually heading in towards the Legion Force as well. He is deep, he's looking for the kills.
They are going to find Torture. They are going to find Warbeast. They actually port top and secure another kill on Root of
And look at Torture
His
at the same time
seventh
in a
death.
minute.
Torture going to maybe fall as well. No, Warbeast is coming on in, says, I got you, buddy. Fade's like, get me the hell on out of here. TP not going to be successful. And Matt H owned me, going to fall. But still, Reason, they've got the lead. They're applying pressure in both the top and the bottom lanes as Swiftblade has quickly become one of the most farmed heroes in the game, over 100 gold per minute ahead of the enemy Clanks.
That is, and on top of that, they got a Dr. Repulsor as well. They're actually going to find Warbeast with the more illusion, but he's going to port out. Reason Gaming just got complete map control at this point.
And that's something that this lineup excels at. Knowing that they're going to be able to get the deep wards, knowing that they've got the Fade as well as the Ephemeral Forge minion, going out and finding everything. This lineup from Reason has been beautifully crafted.
That it has. I'm really impressed by this draft. It's maybe something that they were saving for the later games, maybe the semifinals and the finals, but here being down or being tied up with 1-1 versus BMG, they felt the pressure. They did not want to go home quite yet, so they bring it out, and it's working out beautifully.
Reason, knowing that they're not really on any kind of a clock, they're just going to fall back, farm their own jungle. They do have a triple stack Ancients to take themselves, but Dr. Repulsor finished up the Icon of the Goddess, 1,000 gold on him. And of course, the very strong farming as well as team fighting items between the Abyssal Skull and the Energizer already completed on Swiftblade. Where do you think these two cores need to go from here?
The Clanks and the Warbeast?
Yeah. No, I mean the Swiftblade and the Dr. Repulsor, any of them actually.
I think Dr. Repulsor can easily just go for the Hellflower. I do not think that he needs a Greymoor for this game. I feel like they can end it rather soon. And for Swiftblade, I would personally like to see the Polky in this game, seeing as he's so far ahead. He's level 12. That's 6 levels higher than the Torture, 1 level higher than the Clank. So
yeah.
whoever he finds, you know, it's a
some
kill.
kind of an initiation tool. I would even accept the Assassin's Shroud, to be honest. Getting in there, building into a Genjuro possibly later. He's going to be able to pick off any hero on this team if he opens with a Genjuro.
And look at BMG, they're so scared.
Falling all the way back to the tier 2 tower mid, saying, Reason, this tower is all yours, by all means.
As soon as you get some kills with that Nymphora ultimate, with that Fade ultimate, you get paranoid. BMG, they see Nymphora ultimates and Tremble or Fade Invis all around the map. They're just not sure where they are, so they're just expecting them to be everywhere. And they're not finding any farm on the map whatsoever. They're down 12k gold now. Like, what do you go from here? What are you going to do? You need to get some Veiled Rot ganks with the Devourer, I feel. Something. just follow it up, because you cannot let Reason Gaming have complete map control and do nothing about it at this point.
Their rotations have been solid through the enemy jungle into the lanes and then falling back before it gets too dangerous, and those rotations on their way to being even more crisp. They're, of course, picking up a Staff of the Master on Nymphora.
That they are. Attack if going for a Staff of the Master. That's, yeah, that's ballsy, or that's greedy. I don't think that he would have gone for that if it was an actual even game. I think that's just something for the situation. He knows for a fact that they got this game in the bag as long as they don't throw it. Yeah,
it's in a situation where it is out of BMG's hands. Their offlaners at 96 gold per minute, their support at 100, and right now their main core is only 30 gold per minute ahead of Nymphora on the other team.
Yeah, tank of it, damn. Maybe even get to a Conquer kill. They do have the Abyssal Skull on Swift Blade, get the Conquer kill, and then just box BMG back into their base. Don't let them leave.
Now, with that being said, if there is a little bit of overextension from Reason, there is a lot of potential punish between the Behemoth and, of course, the Devo with the hook. But right now, the Warbeast is the one being punished. In flies Dr. Repulsor, and he's going to go down. A solid kill coming out right there from the boys.
Like, what can you do
Gaming.
about that? Like, there's nothing. Unless you get a pull key on Behemoth, there's just no way to save him. I guess the Devour hook as well, but he's never going to be in position, especially not when he went for Steam Boot, so he's so slow without that pull key. Look at the top lane, by the way. They're going to find Devour.
There's the Arcane Vortex. Dr. Repulsor going to come right on in. The auto attacks, then 4 ports on in, and see you later, Boxy. Make, whoever
the Arcane Vortex into the Nymphora ultimate. That's scary.
This is some impressive play coming out of the guys from Reason Gaming and BMG. I mean, they might just be sitting here kind of collecting themselves, realizing that their time as world champions might be over. Reason, they've been extremely successful in the past weeks in the Deadeye Bounty League, in the DreamHack warm-up event. A lot of people might have ranked them a little bit lower just 2 weeks ago, but here they're showing that they are one of the strongest teams in the world and not to be discounted.
Definitely. Reason Gaming looking scary. They are most likely, if they end up winning this game... Wait, what's going on?
Fade could be going for a kill on Clanks here.
I think he can get it. I think he's getting it
I think
solo.
he has to wait for a creep to be pulled, so he gets a little bit of damage. There's the Ephemeral Forge coming on in, and Clanks is going to fall. Down he goes. 17,000 gold lead at 20 minutes.
Yeah, we can see Fusen in our own torture trying to get those wards up, but even if he do, like, wards doesn't even help versus a Fade or an Nymphora TP, so map vision at this point, it doesn't even matter for BMG's side. All they need is some kind of counter initiation to actually punish the Fade and Nymphora when they go for these kind of kill attempts, but their lineup just doesn't support that.
Behemoth is getting somewhat close to that portal key, the solid counter initiation that would be coming on out of that, only about 550 gold away. But where is he going to find that farm? I mean, he can make his way up into the top lane here and farm there.
He doesn't dare to, he can't.
Yeah, he's going to get picked off. And for Dr. Repulsor, there's going to be so many options for them to actually get kills. But the thing they're looking at killing right now, the Conqueror.
That they are. Fade scouting out the area as well, gonna find Devour, but he's a little bit too tanky.
Another regen rune on DR as well.
Damn, Emo Boy getting a little bit lucky here.
Fade is gonna set up some kind of a kill. Here it is with Moira, the Ephemeral Forge gonna be coming on. And Dr. Repulsor clears him out from across the map. The regen rune activated and going. Fade is going to drop. There's a bound eye on the ground. The regen rune is now deactivated, but down goes Torture. Swift slashes on only the Clanks up the hill. Dr. Repulsor needs to chase him, but he has no mana. That should have been a kill.
Swift Blade though, he's running, not going to be enough. Unfortunately, Behemoth wasn't there for the kill on Fade either, so he's still on 1.5k and not even closer to the PK.
Where's the bound eye? Did it get killed?
Who had it?
Fade had it. He dropped it.
It must have been killed in that case.
Yeah,
either that or it's blocked by some cliff or something, but I've never seen that happen before.
Tank of Fed actually utilizing a Ward of Revelation to see if it was in the woods there. Unfortunately, it was not, so it looks like it was killed. Solid play coming out from BMG, but still, they don't have much to deal with the Conqueror that is likely going to be attempted here once again in the next minute.
Yeah, and like even if they get to farm or get farm onto Clanks and the Warbeast, like they don't have anything to lock down the Dr. Repulsor with when he gets a big B. They got a Devour, but with the Mora behind, with the Swift Blade behind, it's looking really grim. They got Behemoth. Look at Behemoth, by the way. He's at the top and he's still at the same amount of gold. He hasn't left the base.
Well, I mean, the good news for him is that his portal key's only about 7 minutes away if he never leaves the base.
Yep.
Oh, Swiftblade, or excuse me, Fade one more time, finding
Oh,
Torturer.
he's gonna get it. Wow. So well played by Omi, so calculated.
I mean, as soon as he had enough damage, he walked away. Said, "You're never gonna catch me."
And now we got a Hellflower as well on the Dr. Repulsor's course. He had that in the last team fight as well, I believe. And he's even getting even closer to the BKB. There's the hook, though.
A big hook. The Devourer coming on in. Dr. Repulsor should be able to get away. Even has the Invis rune to make sure that he's double safe. And that was like almost everything that they had. If the Behemoth was there, that would have been their entire arsenal.
That it would. And they weren't even able to break him down, or they would have been close at least. The Icon got us 10 charges already, 23 minutes into the game. That's insane, and this is not mid-wars, so 10 charges is a lot.
They are going to be able to take down Kongor now. The big guy going to yield a token of life. Likely going to Dr. Repulsor, middle lane. They are going to go ahead and port on in. Doctor's here, going to try to take out Clanks. There's the Zeal Stun, 1 and 2. And looks like he's going for more. Behemoth saying, get the heck on out of here. Dr. Repulsor with the auto attack and the taunt. The double tap coming in for Imbaboy. And are they going to be able to translate this into an objective?
Ah, damn, no, Behemoth is 8 minutes away from his port game.
I don't know if there's going to be 8 minutes left in this game. The back door going on to the middle tower here. And of course, Nymphora with the mana, with the health, she's going to be able to keep this team moving. They do successfully bring down a tower in the top lane. Their first tower of the game, I believe. Yes, it is. 24 minutes for that first tower. Definitely not good. Melee Rack's going to drop. Reason Gaming being very cautious. They're scared of the Clanks. They're scared of a potential surprise portal key, but Behemoth not opting to sell his boots for that one.
No, I don't think he should either. Or I guess, I mean, there's nothing else that he can really do at this point.
If they had stuck around as like 3 or 4 right there, I think selling your boots into a massive shockwave might have been the play.
Yeah, possibly. Could have been like, you gotta take risks at this point. Like, you gotta make big plays happen. Otherwise, it's going to go to Reason Gaming.
On the other side, though, Reason needs to take no risks whatsoever. 24 minutes in, 22,000 gold lead. I mean, they've got everything that they could possibly need to win this game. It's now just make the right decisions, make the calculated decisions, not react too impulsively, and of course, try to decide what's going to happen and control the flow of the game with the vision and with your significantly stronger heroes.
Yeah, this is what Reason Gaming is all about. They play so carelessly every single time, or so, what's it called? They play so careful every single time. It is just so frustrating to be up versus them, because every single time you're like, okay, they might be a little bit greedy, they might go for a little bit of a dive in their base, they have such a big lead, but they never do. They just played so safe, they're so disciplined, it's insane. Insane in their team, no pun intended, right?
I'm not even sure I believe you about the no pun intended on that one. Bottom lane, though, Swiftblade is going to begin pushing on in. Looks like Moira and Nymphora together scouting out. But Nymph has finished up the Staff of the Master. Interesting.
So maybe they port back into Reason Gaming's or BMG's base almost. You can't port into the base, but you can port a little bit outside in the forest, in the trees. That's possible. And then you can, of course, the Staff of the Master effect allows you to bring a hero on your team to you.
Not one that we see very often at all.
It's quite okay.
Oh, Swift Slash is going to be trying to get Warbeast here, and will it be enough? One more auto. Oh, he cancels it. The portal key forward. Ah, they got it. They used the Nymph for it, but they got it.
If they don't make it with the first hero, they get like 1 or 2 more chances with the Dr. Repulsor. And
yeah, I mean, the Fade was in position to get the cutoff on the far left as well. Like, there was 0 chance of Warbeast getting out of there. And now, looks like they're going to go ahead and translate this into an objective. That objective being the top lane of Rax.
Yeah, I think they want to end this one. They got a series coming up versus Complexity Gaming here in the near future, so...
And they're going to go ahead and dive right on into the base. Down goes Mackay. And will they go any further? Not just yet. Moira using the Ephemeral Forge to do a little bit of scouting here. Buyout on Mackay. Reason going to go ahead and reset. but they're going to need a huge hook to start this one if they have any hope. They're going to go ahead and do a little bit of de-warding.
Yeah, the Behemoth, he got his portal key. Is he going to hit the shockwave of his life?
Dr. Repulsor going on in and takes down Torturer. There's the hook. Arcane Vortex going to go ahead and interrupt the Devourer, but here comes Behemoth. Maybe there's the big shockwave, but the Zeal Stud going out onto 3. Down goes Behe, down goes Devo, down goes Warbeast, and it looks like Clanks will be the next to fall. Buyout on Warbeast. They make it safely into the well, but Fade is able to get on out of there. Nymphora might be turning around with a Zeal Stun right here. Is she still in trouble? Nah, she'll be just fine. Swiftblade going to be pounding in the autos as Dr. Repulsor's got the stun. Clanks is there trying to put the damage in as well, but Fade coming in off the backside, Burning Shadows, and down he goes. A Genocide in favor, and GG, well played. The boys from Reason Gaming eliminate the world champions, and they are going to be going to the playoffs. They're in the money. They're in the top 4. Impressive showing from our first-time LAN contenders.
Impressive indeed. Reason Gaming playing out of their minds. This draft was so